Hello, race fans, and welcome to the 2018 3Y Racing League's Race King Cup Series, live here on 3Y TV. Up here in the booth, I'm Tanner Sharp, and alongside me is Mr. Justin Kolb. And back in the production truck that you'll see all the great camera angles today is provided by Mr. Carlos Acosta. Justin, welcome to this unique racetrack. And why is it so neat? Well, there's a bunch of different reasons. It was designed in 1959. It was designed by the 1959 and 1962 Indianapolis 500 winner Roger Ward. Pocono has a unique design, and each turn is modeled after 3 different racetracks. Tell me a little bit about Pocono.
Well, as you mentioned, a very unique track. Turn 1 is modeled after Trenton Speedway in Trenton, New Jersey. It's a long, wide, sweeping corner. With these cars, you're going to have to downshift to 3rd gear to get all the power you can out of them, exiting the corner down to the long straightaway. Turn 2, also known as the Tunnel Turn, modeled after Indianapolis Motor Speedway, one of the many corners there, or of that historic racetrack. No real downshifting there is going to be needed. After that, sets you up for the pretty short chute into Turn 3, which is modeled after the Milwaukee Mile in Wisconsin over there. Going to be a little bit of downshifting as well in there, and that'll set you up for the very long front straightaway. And this track racing on tonight, the new repaved one we have here in iRacing. No longer will we be racing with the extremely bumpy old track. And for me, Tanner, this is going to be a completely new experience. I have not run a race here yet, and I have not seen one, but I've run a little bit of practice, and it's pretty smooth and pretty fast.
Pretty smooth and pretty fast is the way to go around here at Pocono. I tell you what, I have raced here at Pocono in the iRacing official sessions when they did run here. It was about 2 weeks ago, approximately, I do believe. And yeah, you are definitely shifting here. It's smooth, and I don't know. I think I like this version of Pocono that iRacing has, the repaved version of it, better than the old one, because the old version, you never had a shift. And speaking of old versions of Pocono and not shifting, the 3Y Racing League always never shifted here at Pocono because we have always driven on the older pavement here on iRacing. Well, now tonight marks the first time ever the 3Y Racing League itself is going to be racing on the new repaved of Pocono Raceway. So this is such a unique racetrack, one of the most unique racetracks on the Cup schedule, not just for 3Y Racing, but in NASCAR, and there's no doubt about that. So now we talked about the racetrack, let's talk about the drivers a little bit. I'm going to go through the points here, and this is after Auto Club Speedway, which was taken by Cameron Rich. He currently leads the point standings with 451 points total, with 3 wins to that resume. Paul Ross sits in second with 405 points, 2 wins to his credit. There's Samuel Close in third. He is the Lone Ranger. He has clinched in the top 10 in every single race but one this season, and he's still sitting third in points without a win. He has 402 points. Peter Short, who is tied for the most wins to his teammate Cameron Rich over there at Eisentech Enterprises. Peter Short, 355 points with 3 wins. Johnny Thomas rounds out the top 5 in points with 344 points without a win yet this season. He's just as consistent as Sam Close. Matt Hackathorn sits 6th in points with 336 points. Luis Salmasso sits 7th in points with 334. Kevin Finn is in 8th in points, 290 points in total he has. Rookie Dylan Hickey, a young rookie in this series, is in the top 10 in points. He has 286. And Mr. Levi Zielinski has fallen back the last couple of races, but he's got 279 points and a win to his resume. So that is the top 10 in points. And there's a couple of surprises that actually stick out just a little bit to me, especially Dylan Hickey, but I'm kind of surprised as fast as Levi Zielinski has been so far this season in the races he's ran. He's backed up there in 10th in points. What do you think about that top 10 in points there, Justin?
Well, you know, as you said, it's kind of been up and down for Levi, a little bit surprising, maybe not a little bit higher. Past couple weeks, though, he's definitely been running a lot better. Levi got his win in Bristol and kind of been on the up and up ever since.
He was running a championship race in another league earlier tonight, and so he's actually pulling a double duty for 2 leagues here. And tonight he's driving the 3Y Racing League RaceKings Cup Series at Pocono. So good luck, Levi, for tonight. Let's talk to a driver here, since we're talking drivers here. Let's pull up Mr. Cameron Rich. He won at Auto Club to notch his third win of the season. He's leading the points. Let's bring up Cameron. Hopefully we're not interrupting him. Cameron Rich, 3Y TV. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, we're going to pull you in for a pre-race interview here. And Cameron, so far so good this season for the 2018 RaceKings Cup Series. And I tell you what, man, you got that win at Auto Club in a dominating fashion. I think last time I checked the speed charts here in Pocono, you topped the speed charts. You're averaging a 5th place finish so far this season. What's the key? You don't have to give away all your secrets, obviously, but what is the key to be such consistency? Is it a lot of practice, or I mean, because so far your worst finish this season has been 11th back at Bristol. What's your secret?
Oh man, there's no secret. Just go out there and do it. You know what to do every week. I think when I raced you a couple seasons ago, it was the same thing. Just you know, don't get too involved in other people's races. Just do your own thing, and you know, without bad luck, you're probably going to finish around where you should.
Yeah, I definitely know. You and I had some quite a few battles, and I'll get to that point in a second. But hey, we're at the Repave Pocono here, and you've been involved in 3 Wide Racing League all the way since early portion of 2016. And this is the first time the league itself has been on the Repave Pocono. How's the feel out there with the race car on this Repave Pocono? Is it different than the what the league has been running on the old Pocono? What kind of information can you give there?
Oh yeah, definitely. You kind of got to forget everything you knew about old Pocono. Especially, we're running a not so great setup. iRacing didn't actually give us a setup for new Pocono, so we're running the old Pocono setup on new Pocono. So Turn 2 in particular, I think, is a really bad trouble spot. I think you're going to see a lot of wrecks there tonight, but it's really smooth. Just the car doesn't like Turn 2 at all, so you kind of got to wait on the car so much, almost getting on the gas until on the straightaway afterwards, or else you know you can hit that wall. But Turn 1 and 3 is just really grippy. It's kind of similar to old Pocono, but you know, again, it's not. It's a little bit different. But yeah, I think Turn 2 is the big difference. It just I'm scared shitless about it, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I ran the Repave Pocono a couple of weeks ago when iRacing had their official races going on. But I have to ask you something as far as fuel, because I've talked with a few other drivers here, and they've said that that some are shifting, some are not, actually, believe it or not. But the ones that are shifting, creating more speed down the straightaways. Now, here's my question. When you're shifting and you're down to third gear, and you're doing that maybe the first fuel run, are you using more fuel while shifting than not shifting?
Yeah, I would think so, just because you're turning more RPMs. So I don't think it'll be too different as far as as the actual number of laps you can go. But I think you know, it's probably going to be a little bit different here and there. Probably about half a lap or so if you shift the whole run versus not shifting the whole run.
All right. Well, and by the way, one more question: Are you this is a off Pocono topic here. Are you looking forward to racing side by side with me for 30 laps at South Boston again?
Oh yeah, definitely. I still remember that race. That was pretty good stuff back then. I might have something coming up. I'm gonna try to make that race, but so it's not 100% confirmed that I'll be there. But I really want to do it because I love the super late models. I love South Boston. I love the opportunity to race with you again, so you know, I'm looking forward to it if I can actually do it.
Well, I made an announcement earlier this week on Twitter that I will be in that race, and I actually wanted to talk to the officials first before I wanted to run that race, and also Carlos's get his approval too, since I'm doing booth work, but that's all right. So, all right, Cameron, well, I'm going to let you go here, and best of luck for the rest of the race, and hopefully we'll see you in victory lane once again for the 4th time.
All right, thanks, guys.
That is Cameron Rich, folks, driving for Eisentech Enterprise, number 17 Ford, Boeing Ford. And I collected a lot of information as far as Pocono right there, even though I can relate to the experience of driving Pocono here. right now Cameron Rich tops the speed charts with 52.534. We got about 5 seconds until practice ends. So good. So actually, we made good timing on ending that interview. Johnny Thomas second, Tate Lytle third, Levi Zielinski fourth, and Peter Shore rounding out the top 5 in practice. Any comments to the drivers here tonight within the top 10 practice, or what Cameron explained there, Justin?
It was a little bit surprising hearing that maybe he didn't think that, shifting was going to make too much of a difference with fuel. That was a little surprising to me. And also turn 2, also a very, I'd say, big surprise. I ran on it a little bit in practice maybe about a week ago, and it didn't feel that bad, but, maybe they're running a completely different setup. They did say they're using the old Pocono setup, so... And just one thing I want to point out here, Producer Carlos, maybe if we can go over to Cameron, who we were just talking about, who's sitting on pit road. I want to just point out the pit road here tonight at Bristol and how tricky it can be. If we can get a little bit of a wider shot there, you're going to notice on pit road that huge bump just almost at the exit of pit road. And that can be a little bit difficult, I'm sure, for some guys going into their box and maybe some guys who are on that downward slope. Just something to be mindful of, You don't want to overshoot your box there.
Another thing I do, speaking of the end of pit road, I do want to point out, could we go back to Cameron there? Are we able to move the camera to a little closer to that blue line? Or no?
Oh,
or
yes.
we could probably wait until Cameron moves here, but there's a blue line a little after pit road. There it is. That is new, folks, to our last broadcast here on the RaceKings Cup Series. And that means right now you have to stay underneath that white line and pass that blue cone in order to avoid any kind of iRacing black flag. So in other words, on another, for example, on a 1.5-mile racetrack such as like Chicagoland or Atlanta, you have to stay right there. And then you're allowed to enter the racetrack. iRacing itself will black flag you. If you go above that, just enter the track just like that. Of course, the 3Y Racing League has always implemented that rule. As you can see right there on screen, that blue line, you have to stay below that white line in order to avoid penalty from iRacing itself, not the league, but iRacing. That is something totally new in this last build we've had, this last update we've had, which took place this past Tuesday. So every single week you'll see a blue cone or a blue line on the exits of usually turn 2 on a 1.5-mile racetrack.
Yeah, something completely new. I didn't even know it was coming, but
Me neither.
Yeah, definitely. It was quite a bit of a learning curve in some sessions. Sometimes you just mess around with a friend and kind of just forget about it, but better not forget about it tonight here in the race. It's not quite as deep as I thought it was going to be, but definitely there, and you'd have to keep mindful of it because obviously the officials here tonight are not going to clear that. That's going to be a U issue.
Yep, and it was always a U issue. Realistically, in this league, you have to usually, for example, at tracks like Chicagoland, you need to stay below that apron until the complete exit of turn 2. It was always a rule in my from my knowledge.
Yes.
But now iRacing took care of that, so it actually gives a little bit of a leeway for the officials here on the sim. But I tell you what, we're here at Pocono here tonight. Let's talk about qualification times here. So far, Tate Lytle posting the 52.5 on the board. It is actually not as fast as practice time, but he did run a better of his own lap time. Paul Ross currently in second. I think he is on his second lap right now, trying to improve that.
And just as quickly as it's, oh my goodness, Cameron Rich with 52.3 there. 0.2 better than Tate. Wow.
And he ran, 0.2 better than his original lap time in practice.
That's impressive. Well, I guess he's just reminding everybody who the person you're going to have to beat tonight is. And just at the bottom there.
I'm sorry, production truck made me chuckle.
Yeah.
But
if that came up on stream, but...
all
right, well.
Now you know what I'm laughing at.
Yeah. Marlins win tonight, but anyways, just a minute left to practice there, or qualifying, excuse me, kind of talked the whole way through it, but Cameron Rich there didn't better, actually no, he's just going to pull on down here on his second lap, but still very impressive, 52.3, 0.2 better than second place Tate Lytle.
I was gonna say, Paul's still on the track. I thought what I would like from what I was liking from him is he's using this time to use it as a practice time until qualification is over. But he's brought down pit road. Maybe he's trying to practice his pit road entrances. And by the way, pit road tonight is 55 miles an hour, so don't speed on pit road. That's gonna be. And you talked about that bump, man. That I've been a victim of that bump, believe it or not.
And I honestly didn't even know that until I saw the broadcast, the actual NASCAR broadcast that Sunday. I had no idea it was that huge, and obviously looking down pit road on iRacing, you're really going to notice that, and I don't think I ever felt it racing in the car, but...
Qualification is now over with, so it is now safe to bring it to the grid, and this... Oh, not yet? Oh, I'm sorry. But we do got a unique shot on pit road, though, on how they're going to line up for this event. And this is very interesting and very cool for iRacing to do this. Usually you would see in iRacing all the drivers side by side lined up.
Yeah.
Here, it's just like in real life, and it's a very unique race day setup that you would see at a Pocono race in real life. That's fairly cool.
Yes, sir. And just before we get going here, just always want to remind you, these great camera angles here tonight brought to you by TrackCams for Gourmet. You can find more information and download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. And yeah, I was told about this before the race, and I thought this was the coolest thing. Tanner, I know some other tracks do this. I think iRacing needs to get on it and implement this for some other tracks.
They have to, in my opinion. I would
awesome.
love this. I would love to see it. And, and it's funny because I think every time we've had a build, ever since Dirt got released into iRacing, every time iRacing had a build, there's some little surprise in there, and it's made the service better.
Yes.
It's only going to get better each time.
Absolutely.
And another feature, I don't know if you were expecting this there, Justin. I did not see any grass down and turn on the back straightaway, but there is some grass here where drivers have a spin, they can go to the grass. There'll be so much grass be picked up like a snowplow.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be pretty cool.
I can definitely tell you too. If your computer's not so great, hitting that grass is almost going to be a killer for your frames. Found that out myself. It was not the fun experience, but definitely going to be cool to see here tonight.
All right, let's read off the grid here. Cameron Rich on the pole tonight, so congratulations to Cameron. Tate Lytle is going to start in second place. He's got a good starting spot. Chuck Sweeting is going to start in third. Paul Ross will start in fourth. Fifth place, Drew Eisenman. Sixth place, Peter Short. Seventh place, Mr. Levi Zelinsky. Johnny Thomas will start in eighth. Sam Close will start in ninth. And rounding out the top 10, Nathan Velez there, Justin.
Jordan Teal is going to start 11th here tonight, with David Wilson starting 12th. Got his first top 5 finish in his first race here in the Cup Series last week at Auto Club. Matt Hackathorn going to start 13th. James Duke is going to start 14th. Richard Hines 15th. Nick Miller going to start 16th. Dylan Hickey 17th. Wade Lear going to start 18th. Richard Lafferty going to start 19th. And Chad Brown is going to round out the top 20 here tonight.
Blackjack position, Christopher Munger, a rookie, is going to start 21st. Rusty Webb will start 22nd. Kyle Hanshaw, last driver taking qualification time, starts 23rd. Luis Salmasso, 24th. Corey Lindsay, 25th. Mike Stevens, 26th. And rounding out this 27-car field tonight, Stephen Kettman.
Quite the big field here tonight, 27 cars.
This is going to be a very interesting race here in Pocono. For the first time, the 3-Wide Racing League itself is driving on this repaved Pocono. A driver has pulled off. Who was that? Eisman? That was Eisenman. So everybody else is trying to catch back up, line back up here. He has disconnected from the server. Have to get an update as soon as we can on that. Pace car is going to dart down pit road. Waiting on the green, and we're racing at Pocono.
Good car length jump there by Cameron. Should be able to, I believe, get into that top lane and get the preferred lane into turn 1 here.
3,740 foot long
and someone's spinning already.
Oh, caution.
The 88 of Rusty Webb. Wow, huge crash in turn 1 here.
Wow, huge accident in the back of the pack right off the bat.
That took out a lot of cars there.
I wonder if there was a misjudge on somebody entering the corner. So you said it was Rusty Webb back there?
Not quite sure where it started. I heard people sliding. Oh, I think it may have started with the 03 of Wade Lear there and his teammate, Richard Lafferty.
Oh yeah, he got the
wow.
got on the brakes just to slow down, and he got really punted by his teammate Wade Lear. Oh, Chad Brown involved. Oh, Rusty Webb's involved.
Oh wow.
Oh, someone got hit. Corey Lindsay really took a hit.
A lot of hard hits there, and probably, unfortunately, a lot of guys' nights done before they even got to turn 2. But you could see there, I don't know if Rusty was maybe braking just a little bit early there, or maybe Wade Lear had a later braking point, but that was just a huge collision there.
Boy, a driver that got really lucky. He spun out but did not hit anything was Mike Stevens. I just took a look at the back of the replay, and Stevens just spun it out, which was probably best. Wow. Another driver that got really lucky was Luis Salmaso.
Saw riding on board there with Corey Lindsay. That was an incredibly hard hit there. Take a look at Mike. Saw some of the grass there in the infield a little bit.
The grass getting picked up. Yep, I seen that. Here's Stevens.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Justin.
I was just gonna say, riding on board here, and you mentioned he spun out. To miss that, I'm sure he was hard on the brakes. You can see what's in front of him.
Oh man!
Wow, yeah, that was.
He was hot and heavy.
Yeah, that was absolutely brake lock up there and just kind of slide into a halt. But an amazing job actually of not getting involved in that. Probably gonna have some worn out tires, but just come down pit road and get some freshies.
Man, the heck with this! I'm gonna spin it out. Holy cow!
Yeah. Well, you got to stop us some way, I guess.
All right. Well, pace car lights are still on. This is a 2.5 mile speedway here in Pocono. Now, as Justin said at the top of the show, Turn 1 is a design after Trenton Speedway. That is banked for 14 degrees of banking. And then when they hit Turn 2, that it would be Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is banked at 8 degrees. And Turn 3 is just flat at 6 degrees, which is made after the Milwaukee Mile. So since we do have a little bit of a longer caution here, Director, if it's okay with you, if I bring up a driver to talk to, I'm going to bring up Mike Stevens here on his save.
This should be a good one.
Oh yeah, actually, if you want to take Stevens, I'll take Stevens. Or if you want to take Stevens, you can have him.
Well, yeah, let's just.
All right, let's bring up Mike Stevens here. Mike Stevens, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mike, we had an onboard of your near miss there, and wow, take us through that in the driver of Mike Stevens.
Well, I'll be 100% honest with you. I kind of expected him to wreck early on. But no, I saw Wade start to get loose going into the corner, and I pretty much started lifting then. And then about the time everybody started to stack up, I went for the brakes. But I have a lot of rear brake in this thing tonight, so as soon as I started to give it a little bit more brake, it just went around, and I just barely missed Wade, which honestly was probably a good thing.
Wouldn't you have rather spun it out there than to just hit somebody?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would have loved to have just spun that one out. So.
All right, Carlos, do you have, or not Carlos, but Justin, do you have anything for Mike?
I just, like you said, at least you didn't get in that, and luckily you were on the brakes hot enough that it kind of just spun around on you. So. Good wheel in there.
Thanks, man.
All right, Mike, we're going to let you go here, and what a save, and best of luck to you the rest of the race.
Thanks, man.
All right, that was Mike Stevens, folks, who's in the back of the pack, but he's all right. No damage to that car, and I got to get my live timing and scoring up. I did not have that running. What the heck? Okay, there we go.
Well, this will be better for Mike. Didn't get involved in this one. Hasn't had the best few weeks in terms of results finishing the race, so I guess he's got a life there just to keep going here.
He definitely will be all right. He's got no damage on that thing, and we did get the one goal signal last time by at the start-finish line. They are now down in turn 2, so let's go ahead and reset the field here, at least the top 10. Nothing really changed up there, but Cameron Richards leading the field. Tate Lytle second, Chuck Sweeting third, Paul Ross in fourth, Levi Zielinski actually picked 2 spots up in one corner. How about that? He's in 5th. Peter Short in 6th. Sam Close, same thing with him. He's in 7th. Jordan Teal in 8th. And 9th, Nathan Velez. And rounding out the top 10, David Wilson.
Well, let's hope this time we can get a cleaner turn 1 here. Going to be restarting on lap 5. Still 75 laps to go, so obviously still quite a long ways to go.
This front straightaway is 3,740, which you can land an actual airplane on because they're going down it right now because we're back green. Cameron Rich, what a whale of a jump right there. A better jump than his previous start to the race. The first side-by-side battle looks like it's going to be for the 2nd spot on the speedway with Chuck Sweeting and Tate Lytle.
Lytle's going to get the advantage there. Sweeting's going to slide into 3rd with Paul Ross just behind. Thought he was going to have a challenge, but didn't quite have the momentum off 1 there. A little bit of pressure from behind, too.
A little bit. Now, this is turn 2. This is a dicey corner. I call this the short shoot right here. That's actually considered a short shoot or a tunnel turn.
Yeah.
Looking through the field here. Oh, trouble! 20-22, Peter Short's around. What a save! Wheeling and dealing it. Oh, he got bumped from Jordan Teal.
The camera just barely caught that contact. I heard it. Oh, and he's hit the wall too, but this is not really what you want. Contact with your teammate there. You're heading into 3. A little bit of pressure from behind. And yeah, significant wow, almost 4 wide there.
Oh man, it was on the apron.
Oh, that shouldn't have worked, but it did.
Easy boys, it's ain't gonna work right now. Oh,
guys, it's only. Oh my goodness. Oh, Hines kind of squeezing David Wilson there. 3 wide into 2. That's not really gonna work there. All right, they've settled it out. Someone's spinning.
Oh, who's spinning?
Oh, I thought I heard someone spinning. Maybe that's just. I think that's just kind of the way they're sliding through turn 2 there.
Oh, Stevens to pit road. Maybe he got a penalty.
Possibility there. Yeah, 30 seconds on pit road, so.
That's a penalty, yeah. Oh, James Duke! Oh, trouble!
Oh,
huge
my
accident!
goodness.
Hackathorn!
Handshot just about went over. Oh, Nick Miller!
Oh, no!
He came flying in there.
What happened?
Maybe he thought he saw a gap there, but let's see what happened here. Yeah, Duke gets loose out of 3. Overcorrects, unfortunately.
Oh, he hit the wall a ton, and he overcorrected it, which snapped the car around to the right. Oh, Hackathorn. Oh, I tell you what, I think the innocent bystanders, F46, Kyle Hanshaw.
Yeah, he got hit pretty well in the right rear there.
Oh, Nick Miller doing everything he can to get by it. He thought he saw the gap. Nick Miller.
Very unfortunate.
We'll have to ride on board with him.
Yeah. Be a good view. This is on board with Nick Miller here. Now he sees what's going on in front of him. Looks like he's slowing down a bit there. Sees that gap. And unfortunately, yeah, Matt Hackathorn just still rolling back trying to collect it. Tanner, you know all too well, sometimes those holes just close up in such a hurry.
Yeah, that gone too, man.
It's, we're not even to lap 10 yet. It seems like we already have a lot of guys in the Modify club here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're already got 19 cars on the lead lap, and we started with 27.
Wow.
Excuse me, we started 26. Drew Eisman has not come back. He must have some kind of had some connection problems or something tonight. So he did not officially start the event tonight. Well, I did not go through it, and I should have. Every week I keep forgetting, but the race details here tonight that I was received from the league here tonight. 80 laps, there is a halfway bonus, and that is lap 40. So the top 10 drivers get paid with bonus points, along with a bonus point for that, whoever's leading it. 75 100% fuel here tonight, so approximately 22 or 24 laps on fuel. The iRacing Pocono setup right now, they're currently using the old version, but so far it seems like it's working. And there is a 6-lap rule, which means you are parked. That is that rule dash 6/11.
And everybody coming to pit road here.
I'm shocked by this.
I am too, to be quite honest with you. I didn't.
Yeah.
I'd have to assume maybe this is just for fuel. However, we've only run about maybe 3 laps under green.
Yeah, I figured more drivers would come down and actually take, like, actually stay out or something. Maybe that we'll see some 2 tires here. We'll have to see. Some gambling or something.
Like everybody's on 4, so.
Yeah, everybody's getting 4 tires. Wow. Is tire wear that significant here?
Must be. I think,
Oh god, hopefully we got a black flag here.
Yeah. Make sure you... Okay, Johnny Thomas took 2 tires.
Thomas is coming from 14th, so that might be a good call right there to get some track position. I'm multitasking here. Sorry, I'm not 100% catching up here.
Levi Zielinski picked up 2 spots there on pit road. I thought he got some. But he's slowly working his way through this field here tonight, up to 3rd. Mentioned doing double duty here tonight.
Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but is Johnny Thomas, he's pitted 3 times in this race so far?
That's what my results are showing too. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, well that might not have been a bad call for Thomas then. He's up there in 6th. Pitted every caution, so...
That's still impressive too, considering he's up to 6th.
That's good track position though, man. I know how key track position can be here at Pocono, at a track like this.
So, I think Mike Stevens going to try and get the wave around along with Corey Lindsay here.
Yeah, because all these drivers are back down pit road. Eventually, I think Stevens had to serve a penalty at one point, so this is going to give him a lap back, and we haven't really ran green, so Stevens should be okay. Corey Lindsay, he's got damage, but he's just trying to hang in there for the remainder of the race. For Team Blurry, pace car lights are still turned on. It looks like they did not get the notification to be going around the pace car. Usually it's on a 1-to-go signal.
Right. A lot of guys up to the end of pit road just waiting for that to open. Look like James Duke, and not quite sure who the other one was. That is the... Oh wait, thank you. Portion of that 08 part of the modified club here tonight, along with a pretty lengthy list of guys, unfortunately.
And I think sometimes it's just the I don't know how to explain all these wrecks because I'm not any of these drivers or anything like that, but it just seemed like towards a little bit towards back of the pack, some drivers are being really aggressive right off the bat. We saw a couple 3 wide moments back there that maybe could have ended up in a wreck, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but they all hung on to it.
And unfortunately, I'm sure, Tanner, you get a restart, everybody's bunched up, that's your perfect opportunity to try and gain some spots, and that's when people are going to be the most aggressive, and unfortunately, it seems like it's just costing a lot of people here tonight.
Can't win the race on lap 1, can't win the race on lap 5 or 10, or it's 80 laps tonight. It's 50% of a real life distance, so there's plenty of time to figure out a way to get to the front to the best you can. So you can't give up. You can't be really aggressive to burn off them tires right off the bat.
Absolutely. Well, I believe you get the 1 to go this time.
All right, lights are off. That means Lindsay and Stevens will get a wave around, and everybody will double file back on up.
Well, just a quick run through the top 5. Not much has changed. Just Cameron Rich still up front there. Chuck Sweeting second. As mentioned, Levi Zielinski 2 spots up on pit road there to 3rd. Paul Ross up to 4th, and Tate Lytle in 5th.
Johnny Thomas in 6th, Sam Close in 7th. Or wait, 7th. 8th place is Jordan Teal. 9th place, Nathan Velez. Rounding out the top 10, rookie Dylan Hickey.
And just a quick update, you did see that contact between the 22 and the 33, the two teammates there. It looks like Peter Short has come down pit road, and that back bumper is actually looking quite a bit better than it was at first significant contact. So,
I was going to ask you, does that back bumper, can that play into aerodynamic speed here on iRacing?
Absolutely, because that spoiler back there was pretty well jacked up at the beginning, and obviously this is a very aerodynamic dependent track, so I'm sure that thing wasn't going to be handling too well, but it looks like he's probably got it to the best of the best it can get. So thankfully this track is 2.5 miles, so he's got a lot of time to repair.
It is very early here in this race. We've already seen 2 cautions in just before 10 laps. So might as well get the damage repaired as much as you can, get back on out there and get the best finish you can out of it.
Yeah, not a whole lot to lose here. At least at this point of the race, you mentioned still 70 to go.
Base car is going to be heading down pit road for the 3rd time. This will be the 3rd restart here. We're back green flag racing here at Pocono with Cameron Rich with another solid jump all by himself out there. Good restart for Chuck Sweeting as well. He's going to tuck into the pocket right there, but looks like Levi Zielinski is not going to be denied here tonight. Strongly running in 3rd currently.
Yeah, it's going to be close coming off turn 1 there, just behind. Sam Close going to try and get the look on Johnny Thomas there. Almost a crossover.
Pretty good activity. Here goes Nathan Velez back here underneath Jordan Teal for 8th place. Could not get the run. There's a little bit of a battle behind him as well. Dylan Hickey and the 39 of David Wilson. David Wilson, I think he's Mr. VR guy.
Sure.
Running selective races in the Cup Series. There's Salmasso getting a position on Richard Hines.
What a good move by Salmasso.
Tremendous move. Now we finally get a green flag lap in this evening with Cameron Rich out front.
Pressure still being applied to Johnny Thomas there. That's for the 6th spot. Samuel Close backs off just a little bit heading into 1.
Everybody running pretty good. I think Salmasso is going to go after David Wilson back there. I think that's a first battle side by side. Yes, it is.
Salmasso not wasting any time, just picking him off whenever he gets to him, it appears. He's going to, I'm sure, try again in 3. Maybe he can make the same move that he pulled on Richard Hines here on Dylan Hickey.
Got to remember, Salmasso avoided that very first incident down in turn number 1. And on top of that, he started 24th tonight, already up to 11th. Everybody running single file at the moment, not really pushing the issue up towards the front. Probably, it's more than likely a really good thing. Oh, Paul Ross, he's on the bottom, but is that Tate Lighter?
Yeah, that was, yeah. He got, I think he kind of just missed the corner there. He was a little higher than Paul entering the corner, and did a pretty good job of not letting it slide too high there and minimizing the damage there.
Zielinski for 2nd place.
Underneath the 26 of Chuck Sweeting there. He'll take that spot. Oh, and that's going to be pretty tight off, too.
That was a lot of give and take between Sweeting and Ross, but here comes Paul Ross to take advantage of this situation.
Yeah. He'll get 3rd from Chuck Sweeting, and he's going to try and take 2nd from Levi Zielinski here, and I think he's going to get it.
Ross is battling. Oh, go ahead.
Sam Close just behind now, going to try and take advantage of Tate Lytle here.
Lytle's just trying to find his groove right now, but give him time. Right now, he's not 100% really trying to battle so hard, but he washed up the track down turn 1, 2. I think it was last time by. Right now, he's just trying to find his groove in the track. Oh, he got really snappy loose off of turn number 1. Had to back off of it, didn't battle too hard with Sam. Zielinski and Ross still battling. Actually, that just unfolded. Ross looks towards the inside, can't do anything. There's Sam Close going underneath Chuck Sweeting. Sweeting's going to do a crossover move off of turn number 2 in the tunnel turn.
And that's the 2nd time that got really close off turn 2. Cameron mentioned that turn 2 could get a little bit hairy, and I guess he wasn't lying. It's getting pretty close there, closer than I thought we were going to get tonight.
way I'm looking at it is it depends on how hard you're going into the corner. As Lytle and Sweeting are still battling. There's a battle back there between Hickey and Velez for 9th place.
With Velez on that inside there, the preferred line. See what Hickey can do on that high side.
Nate Lytle just past Chuck Sweeting. Now Johnny Thomas is going to take advantage with a nice run off of turn number 1. Thomas is now going to go after Sweeting. Somebody got really loose off of turn number 1 and went towards the inside.
That was actually Samaso. He was, I believe, just trying to get all the momentum he could. He's trying to get 2 spots here in one corner with Velez and Hickey.
Got a good car going right now.
Yeah,
That thing's on a rocket since the drop of the restart.
Oh, Velez just kind of tapped the wall there. Off 3, no harm, no foul there.
Looks like it was just a kiss.
Sure.
Johnny Thomas going after Sweeting again. Wasn't able to complete the pass. Looks like he's going to complete it now. Ooh, a little bit of a bumper tap from Sweeting, trying to do a crossover move. Misjudged it just a little bit, and that actually gave the momentum to Johnny Thomas. Now here comes Jordan Teal in the 33, looking underneath Sweeting. Sweeting falling back.
I have a feeling it's going to get pretty close off turn 2 here again. Yeah, here comes Teal. Yep, shot up the track just a little bit there. Hickey's going to try and take advantage. You mentioned it, and you hit the nail on the head there, Tanner. It's really, as Teal gets a little bit loose in 3.
Teal's in trouble.
Velez just kind of trapped underneath him.
Oh,
he's in the wall.
Tell you what, Velez almost hit it too.
But you got it right, Tanner, with that turn, with turn 2. You really, I think Cameron mentioned it too, you really just can't drive it in too hard, and I'm sure some of these guys are trying to do that, drive it in as deep as they can, just trying to get as many positions as possible, but it's kind of hurting them down the short chute there, losing all their momentum.
Yeah, you really, as the more you run on these tires, from my experience, and this is technically on any racetrack realistically, but this is a great example here at Pocono. The more laps you run on these tires, the more you kind of got to back up the corners a little bit more, because otherwise the car's just going to push tight on you. And we haven't really discussed about the weather here at Pocono. It is relatively kind of cool outside with track temperature of, what was it, 98 or something like that? So it is under 100 degrees, I remember that. But usually that would mean it could be in a tight condition, as I just seen Dylan Hickey go past Chuck Sweeting. Now Chuck Sweeting's again under attack, this time from Salmaso.
Yeah, Sweeting falling like a rock here. He was up there battling for 2nd and 3rd. Now he's all the way back here to 8th, about to lose that position to Luis Salmaso.
Man, I don't know what's going on with Chuck, but man, come on, Chuck, you're dropping like a pigeon.
I'm sure that car is just not quite handling as well as he'd want it to right now, unfortunately.
Well, Cameron Rich has pulled out to about a 2.5 second lead over 2nd place Paul Ross. Paul did get by Levi Zielinski, so those 2 guys are 2nd and 3rd respectively. There's this, another bump, a little bumper tap from Chuck to Samaso, Sweeting to Samaso, and Velez is going after Jordan Teal.
Tell you what, man. Cameron Rich up front, just real quick, he's got something he's finding something that a lot of these guys aren't finding. I don't know if he's running, a little harder than everybody else or what he's doing, but he's about consistently 0.2 a lap better than 2nd place Paul Ross every lap.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think Levi Zielinski may have brushed the wall, and this allows Samuel Close to go by him.
It didn't really look like the rear end stuck very well there into 2, but now he's going to try and get that position right back. And I did see some right side damage, so he definitely got that wall pretty good.
I seen on the corner of my eye as I was switching camera angles. Zielinski battling with Close for 3rd spot. Nobody else is really battling back in the pack. There might be a battle with Jordan Teal and Velez. But right now, the main battle is right here for 3rd spot. Close
and there's going to be
trouble.
Jordan Teal and Nathan Velez made heavy contact there in turn 1 there. maybe not heavy, but it was pretty significant contact. I thought that was going to be worse than what it was going to be. Take a look here. Yeah, Jordan Teal, I think he may have gotten loose or something because he just all but didn't make the corner.
Pushing up, pushing up, pushing up.
Yeah.
Contact. Oh, wow. Lucky for Les. He did not hit the wall. He slowed down just enough to avoid the wall.
I thought they were both heading for it, Tanner. I thought that was going to be our next caution, but Les did a very good job hanging on to that race car, and so did Teal.
From my experience on driving a Cup car here at Pocono, the car, depending upon the weather setting, it can get tight and it can get loose. From my discussion with some drivers here tonight, it was on a tight side.
Oh. Tell you what, man, this new track is kind of deceiving with the sounds. It almost sounds like someone's spinning out every corner.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... I don't know. I actually have my sounds turned down just a little bit, but Teal and Velez is the only... Actually, there's a battle down Johnny Thomas. And Samasso. Samasso passes Thomas for 6th.
Yeah, wow. Not too long ago, we were talking about Samasso fighting for the 12th spot. Now he's just about to crack the top 10, or top 5 here. He's got, as you can see, a little bit ways to go there to get up to Tate Lytle, but he's definitely got a fast race car here tonight.
He's got a little bit of an open gap right now to the car ahead of him, which is going to be Tate Lytle. So if he doesn't get close enough to Tate Lytle, I'm just curious what his lap time is going to be, because Cameron Ridge obviously has now pulled out to a 4.5-second lead. He has that clean air. He's by himself. He's just running his race.
Really, it's just kind of the fight for second at this point. Wow, yeah.
Damn close, going by Paul Ross for second.
Paul slid a little bit in the exit of turn 2 there, and I believe that's what gave Sam the advantage. Kind of saw the rear end kick out a little bit, and I'm sure Levi Zielinski off this corner is going to have some momentum. He's probably going to give...
Oh, Sam slapped the wall. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
a kiss. And, yeah, Levi poked the nose out just a little bit there. Wasn't able to try that move.
The only driver that really wanted to see all these guys battle, because you can fold 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th over a blanket. The only driver that's smiling is Cameron Ridge. Oh yeah, and
wow. Everybody. Yeah, they were. I didn't expect that tonight, but both Paul Ross and Levi Zielinski just ran the apron there, and Tate Lytle's actually going to try and get the move underneath Levi Zielinski here, and that'll be for the 4th spot. And Tate Lytle just about lost it off turn 3. What a save!
Wow.
I thought he was heading down pit road there.
Man, did he fishtail that car? Holy cow. Some battles brewing up for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Johnny Thomas, Dylan Hickey, Peter Short, Chuck Sweeting. Fold him over a blanket.
Getting a run there into 2. Hickey kind of poked the nose out just a little bit there. And Short's going to get the run on Hickey there for that spot. Nope. Yeah. Peter Short just a little bit loose there. Wasn't able to keep the momentum with him.
I'm going to expect pit stops going to be brewing up if we don't see a yellow flag within the next maybe 10 laps, because I am going to count a caution laps here at Pocono.
Saw there the 91 of Hickey loose off 3, and that gave the spot to Peter Short there. That moves him up to 8th.
Short's back in the top 10 after some rear end damage, getting all that fixed up. So far, it looks like that rear end is not bothering him. If anything, maybe making him a little loose. "19 cars remain on the lead lap. The tail end Charlie lead lap car is Corey Lindsay. Not running the same lap times as drivers in the top 10, so damage must be a factor. James Duke would receive a lucky dog if there is a caution, and providing if he doesn't get involved in the incident. Drivers into the garage area here tonight: Stephen Kettman, Richard Lafferty, Rusty Webb, and Wade Lear. All have taken it to the garage.
And I'm a little surprised. Chad Brown in the 64 is still out there. We mentioned the 6-lap rules in effect. He's actually 11 laps down at the moment. And more surprisingly, the boss man Corey Lindsay just behind him too. So sure, he doesn't realize how many laps down he is. He's running his own race, obviously, but
well, we'll have to keep an eye on that story here tonight. Usually Corey, he's just trying to run his race, and usually all drivers here in this series are pretty trustworthy and understand all the rules and all that, and are aware of their situations when they're driving up there, how many laps down they are. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see as that story goes on. But nonetheless, Cameron Rich still has a little over 5-second lead over Sam Close now, then Paul Ross in third, Zielinski in fourth, and Tate Lytle in fifth, which we might see a Tate Lytle versus Zielinski for 4 spots soon. Nothing producing there just yet. Nick Miller's is actually getting passed by a bunch of cars. He's not on the lead lap. Everybody running single file now. It seems like everything just calmed down now.
And see right there on screen, the closest battle we have on the track. That is for a 15th spot with Matt Hackathorn real loose off 2 there.
Yeah, Hackathorn was involved in that previous caution off of turn number 3. He's got some severe rear end damage. Stevens is just right behind him. He's got the cleanest car. And the 9 car, Nick Miller, just blew his engine.
I have to imagine he may have seen that coming, because you saw it going down the apron there, yeah, and just blew right there.
Off the racing surface, he's on the apron.
And there's no way he's going to make it back, so I'm sure he's just going to try and stay out of the way as far as possible and get the tow back, unfortunately. Head home here tonight.
I was kind of hoping for Nick Miller to do a special effects of the grass. 64, Chad Brown is on pit road. He is 11 laps down. He has far surpassed that 6-lap rule. That I think that might be the case now.
I think it sounds like he's revving the engine too. I'm not sure if he's trying to blow it. Okay, yeah, he's done. Safe to say. Yeah.
To the garage.
Yeah, he tried to take it to the garage. Unfortunately, that's not really open in iRacing, so.
Tate Lytle got around Levi Zielinski. That was a battle we missed. I know I mentioned it, but other activity was going on the racetrack. I want to make note of that. So Lytle got by Zielinski, and guess who caught Zielinski now? Luis Samasso. So I guess we can keep our eyes on these drivers here, because I know Samasso's been fast ever since that last restart. He got a nice run off of turn number 2, looking toward the inside right now as they enter turn number 3, side by side for 5th place. If Samasco can get by Zielinski, this would mean Samasco has clinched the top 5 for the first time tonight.
Tell you what, if we get another caution, this 4-car may have something for that 17 of Cameron Rich. He's been absolutely flying back from, what was it, 14th all the way to 6th spot here and looking for more. A small battle just behind, too.
Here's what I've been noticing, and I've been taking note of this. Samasso is running similar lap times to Cameron Rich when he's got clean. Oh,
and the 22 Peter Short. That's going to be a hard hit.
Caution. Oh, we're coming back up. Easy, boys. Go, everybody get down. Woo. Hey, they all heard me.
I don't think he actually hit it. I think he spun that car around before he hit the wall. That front end looks... Caught the wall there and one, a little high. Wow.
Oh, yeah, he slapped the wall.
Yeah, I'm sure he slammed those brakes, turned that car right, and, or turned it left. No, right?
Well, that car was bound to hit the inside wall anyways, the way the speed it was. That reminds me, my save that I did, what was it, a year or two ago at a year or two ago in the Cup Series at Atlanta. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I did a near save at Atlanta. I think I still came back and won that race.
I don't know how he kept it off that wall. It was quite amazing, but he gets another life here. Has some more damage to repair, unfortunately, but that's brought everybody back up together.
Man, I tell you what, he saved that front end nose for Peter Short. That was a tremendous save by Peter Short. Well done, though. I mean, all he's got to do is now put some fresher stickers on that car and get back on out there. But hey, this opens up pit road.
Yes, sir. So, should be pitting lap 32 here, and
Cameron Rich leading the field down in the pit road here, and just don't beat yourself on pit road here, fellas. It's 55 miles an hour, and Lucky Dog recipient should go to, according to timing and scoring, Corey Lindsay. So here we go. Pit road is open. Everybody coming in, and this is to be expected since that was a pretty good, decent green flag run. 55 miles an hour. Lindsay already now receiving his Lucky Dog. All right, down into the pit box everybody goes. Right side's going up on every single car I am seeing. Oh, Peter Short.
Oh, Peter. Absolutely slammed that pit wall and the four of Luis Almaso. Oh, I thought.
Sam Close he came in second. So you got Cameron Rich, Sam Close, Paul Ross, Tate Lytle, Luis Salmaso. What the heck happened to Levi Zielinski? Zielinski came in fifth, but he didn't come out fifth.
See if he missed his boxing. I'll take a little bit look back. He should. Yep. He slid through it. Yeah, that was a good slide. I'm curious to know where his pit box is.
Usually, all the pit boxes goes by where you gridded.
I was curious to see maybe where he was on that hill, but he was well past it. So.
Alright, well, if the pace car lights do not go off this time by, maybe we can pull up somebody into the booth, maybe try to kill time just a little bit, because this is a 2.5 mile speedway. It's a long speedway. You're only going 70 miles an hour around this track.
Hey, what? Maybe we should dial up arguably the guy who has the fastest car here, the four of Luis Salmaso.
Yeah. The pace car lights off? Nope.
No, they're
All
not.
right. So let's go ahead and let's bring up Mr. Luis Salmaso. Where's he at here? 3OG. 3OG Racing, got him. Luis Salmaso, 3YTV, you got a copy?
Got a copy, bud.
Man, Luis, I'm going to bring you all the way back to the start of the race, down in turn number 1. Explain to me, how the heck did you avoid that incident?
I was talking to Richard on the radio before that thing, and it was one of those things. Everybody was going into turn 1, and I think in front of him, someone made a move that forced him down the track, and he ended up going to the bottom at the same time that I did. So it was one of those reflex things like, oh my God, he's right in front of me. Where do I go? The only place was the apron. And then the moment I hit the apron, I hit the brakes as hard as I could, just praying that the back end would not go around and we were able to go straight. And luckily, everybody coming behind just saw what was happening, just gave us a little bit of room that made it all possible.
Now, I'm going to bring you back a little bit further to that. I think it was the second caution of the race. It was about lap 11, lap 12, when you went back green flag racing to this long green flag run we just had. You restarted 14th, and you started slicing and dicing your way up through the field. Talk about that drive, man, because other than Cameron Rich, it looks like you're the one of the fastest cars on the racetrack.
I had a chance to race a couple of the official races during the week, the Pocono, that we had Pocono, and it was just one of those things that race the the track, not whoever you're racing against. So with this new configuration, it's a very fine line that being fast and going overboard. So if you miss a turn, the momentum that you're going to lose is so great that you're going to lose almost a second a lap. So everything that I was doing was just making sure that I don't miss my marks. I don't mind braking early. I don't mind letting the car roll. Just don't overdrive anything, because you're going to burn your tires way too early and you're going to put your car in danger. So that's it was all that I was doing. And the guys that I was able to pass was mostly because in one turn here or there, they made a small little mistake, and that cost them. So I was coming with momentum from behind, and it was just a very fortunate sequence of guys having small little issues when I was there ready to pounce. So we'll see what happens now that we're up in here with these guys that have been racing very fast since the beginning of the race. Let's see if we have anything that can put a little bit of heat on top of them, see if they make a couple of mistakes as well.
All right, that was going to lead to my next question too. If you had the clean air, because it seemed like your lap times were slower, if you had the clean air, you think you would be able to catch Cameron Rich?
We may have to run his car through inspection a couple of times to see what the hell is he running under the hood of that thing. But now Cam is one hell of a driver. Whenever he comes to a track and he's up front all the time, it's a pretty difficult thing to do. But hey, it's never impossible. He can do it. We can do it. We just need to figure out what he's doing, when he's doing it, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be right there.
All right, Luis, got to let you go here because we're going green. Best of luck.
Thanks, bud.
As Luis Salmasso currently in the 5th spot right now, we are currently going to the green flag here. So let's round out the top 10 here. Cameron Rich, Sam Close, Paul Ross, Tate Lytle, Luis Salmasso, the top 5. Dylan Hickey, Johnny Thomas, Levi Zielinski, Chuck Sweeting, and Nathan Velez, the top rounds out the rest of the top 10. Here we go. Pace car lights are off. It's coming in, and it's Cameron Rich once again. Green flag. We're back racing in Pocono.
And another, that may be Cameron's best start of the race right there. A pretty good distance between him and Sam Close.
Salmasso maybe looked like he got caught sleeping on that restart because Dylan Hickey just took advantage of the inside row, and now he's already cracking the top 5.
Tate Lytle on the outside of Paul Ross. They're putting the pressure at a 1. He'll take that spot.
Yeah, here comes Dylan Hickey now under attack. Now he's going to attack Paul Ross for position. That's for 4th. Dylan, man, is having a nice run here today in Pocono, and contact.
With Levi and Luis Salmasso, unfortunately, Johnny Thomas is going to take full advantage of this. He's going to go underneath the 4. Didn't quite get to the 59 there, but
I hate to say this, but look at the left front of Salmasso.
Yeah, that's some good damage right there. I don't know how much it's going to hurt that car, but I guess we'll have to wait and see as this run goes on.
Oh, man, I tell you what a cutoff by Johnny Thomas, but he did everything he can to get his line back because Thomas, he's been utilizing that outside line fairly well, and it's really gained some serious speed on corner exit. Oh, Salmasso really hit did he hit the wall?
Yeah, he got it.
Oh, boy. Salmasso, I think I cursed you, buddy.
Turn this back to him.
Was it that your idea, Justin?
I plead the 5th.
This is why are we racing so hard here, Justin?
Well, we are coming to the halfway point, and of course, as you mentioned earlier, we're getting points awarded here at lap 40, and we're just about 3 laps away from it. So, gotta get all you can. And unfortunately, as you mentioned, Luis not the best restart, and just kind of has been falling back ever since. But I like the way that he's racing this race tonight. Race the racetrack, not the people around you. And I have, with how difficult this track seems to be tonight, I feel like that's the way you have to approach this racetrack. You know, a lot of guys are making mistakes tonight. Just race the racetrack and don't worry about the people around you.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, because again, you're not going to win the race on lap 1. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to win the race on lap 10. Sometimes I don't understand why drivers race so hard in the early stages of the race. Maybe it's trying to get the track position, but at the same time, you're risking on getting yourself in an incident, even though it may or may not be your fault.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just, you know, get the green, take a few laps, and sure people will start making mistakes trying to drive hard.
2 laps to go till the halfway bonus point, because right now we might have us battle for the race lead, possibly because Sam Close is keeping tabs with Cameron Rich, along with Tate Lytle. And
the 48 of Nathan Velez got that inside, or that inside wall of turn 1 pretty good there.
The outside wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it pretty good. He's in lose some spots. But why these drivers are racing so hard, as Justin says, is because the halfway bonus point. Cameron Rich will if he wins this halfway point, which we will remain green, he's coming to take the halfway lap this time by, he would receive 10 bonus points, and it decreases all the way down to 10th place to 1 point, which so far currently is at the line. So, Teal.
Jordan Teal.
But I got one more lap to get it done, though. David Wilson has a chance to get that 1 bonus point.
He was applying the pressure pretty good there that last lap, and he's still on him. It's going to be quite the race coming to the line for that last spot for points. And unfortunately, it looked like with Nathan getting into the wall that last time with the outside wall, he's kind of falling out of the points here.
I was looking from Dylan Hickey on back just to see if anybody's going to pull out and try to make something happen. I think the closest one's between Sweeting and Thomas, but I don't think it's going to happen. Cameron Rich comes across the start-finish line. We still remain green. 10 bonus points to Cameron. Sam gets 9. 8 goes to Tate Lytle.
And Teal's going to get that final spot there in 10th.
All right, now it's all for the marbles right now. Now you just got to go for the win. Wow, what about, you can pull them over a blanket. Hickey, Ross, and Zielinski got pretty close down in turn 1 and 2.
And just behind them, another little 3-car battle. Thomas, Sweeting, and Salmaso.
Dylan Hickey. Oh, go ahead.
And that got really close off turn 2 there, and I thought Paul was going to clip the 91 there. See, he had to slow down, and that let Levi Zielinski get the momentum and try and take the spot away. I think Paul's actually going to hold him. We'll have to see when they get off 3 here.
And that turn 2's just not been kind to drivers today.
All right. You know, I didn't believe Cameron when he said turn 2 was going to be maybe the most difficult corner all race, but I'm definitely a believer now.
It's hard because that corner is just like Indianapolis, and when you're going side by side, you know, usually Indianapolis, that's made for open wheel race cars. You're out here, these guys are driving a 3,400 pound race, a stock car. I mean, that's very tough when you're going side by side in turn 2 like that. We're trying to go for a pass on somebody.
Yep, pretty close just behind too with Chuck Sweeting and Luis Salmaso. It almost looked like Sweeting kind of shut the door a little bit on Salmaso, but still going at it.
Salmaso, despite the left front damage, is still running in the top 10, having a good day so far. Zielinski got around Ross, and I think Ross gave a little bit of a bumper tap to Zielinski, and I think it cringed the spoiler of the 59 car.
Yeah, he was really hounding him at the exit turn 3 there, and Zielinski really dives down deep into turn 1. You can see he's going to wash up just a little bit there at the exit. He's going to get the wall pretty good. I was going to say, I didn't think that was going to stick the way he kind of, with how deep he drove it down in there.
And drive the corners deep.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's kind of back to square 1 behind Paul Ross.
Speaking of Ross, he's going after Dylan Hickey right now. I tell you what, folks, this battle between the 91 and the 18 It was brewing up for a little while, and now it's brewing up again. This is a battle between the lamb and the lion right here.
And Ross was able to clear the 91, but it was very close there.
Man, these guys are a two-car tandem. Oh, that's like 5 cars pushing each other.
Yeah, I don't think bump drafting is going to work into turn 1 here. I don't think that's a good idea.
It's a good idea at all, unless you're at Daytona and Talladega. But even though I don't think bump drafting is a good idea anymore on plate racing here.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a. We're going to find out about that pretty soon.
Right now I see Samaso, he wants to go for it, but I don't think he has the straightaway speed. I think that left front damage might hurt him on a straightaway. Samaso's not as fast as he was. I think I jinxed a couple people. I think I jinxed Zielinski as well.
And so, but the four...
Oh, Thomas! What happened to Johnny Thomas?
He's been pretty aggressive. I think he was just kind of draft dodging with the 4 there, and I was just about to say, that's what kind of Luis Samaso has to... Wow, Levi Zielinski really high in turn 1 there. Absolutely missed the corner. This is going to be 3 wide out of turn 1!
Yeah. He almost flipped the right rear quarter panel of Thomas.
Yeah, that shouldn't have worked, but got out of there all right, and Levi hit that turn 1 wall pretty good a couple laps ago, and I think that damage may be coming back to hurt him just a little bit here.
Damaso and Thomas just almost doored in turn 2, and these drivers are battling pretty good. And now here's Sweeting, really has nowhere to go. He could probably take a 3 wide, don't know where it would get him, but right now it's a battle between Samaso and Thomas. Not 100% clearing them.
I say this is going to be interesting to see how well that 4 car fares. Well, he got the spot from Thomas, so I don't think that damage may be hurting him too bad. That'll move him up to 6th. Dylan Hickey about a 1.5 seconds ahead in 5th. Battling with Paul Ross up there. Well,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to say, now that it seems like we have a little bit of breathing room, just want to remind you just again, all these great camera angles here tonight, they were provided by Track Cams for Gourmet. You can download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. Oh, wow, Levi Zielinski really was driving down deep into 3 there, just about got Chuck Sweeting. And that lost all his momentum as he, I'm sure, had to slam on the brakes.
Boy, he picked up some grass too. He's got some grass on them left side tires. I think they're gone now, but like dirt came off the tires. I mean, yeah, I don't know if he had to wiggle his car to get the dirt off or what, but I seen dirt on the left side of the tires as grass got picked up. Battle for 4th going on, brewing up right now between Paul Ross and again Dylan Hickey. Battle of the Lamb and the Lion.
Nice to talk about Dylan Hickey. We haven't really had a good chance to, give him a good shout out, but running in the top 5 here tonight and running a good race.
Got to give Dylan Hickey a great shout out myself here. Started 17th, up there in 5th, and I tell you what, he's had some decent finishes. As a rookie, he has yet to clinch a top 10 finish since Bristol. That happened all the way back in April. He finished 5th. Actually, that's his first top 5 of the season. He's averaging an 11th place finish so far this season. Has yet to lead a lap at all. But last 2 races, he's finished 12th with only 2 incidents in the last 4 races. So he's actually been really good the last maybe 4 races, just has yet to clinch a top 10 finish yet.
Tell you what, Sam Close, you mentioned earlier, keeping close tabs on that 17 of Cameron Rich. I'm thinking maybe the lap car of James Duke maybe helped Sam closing that gap just a little bit, but
let me see lap times here. Sam ran a 54.9. Cameron ran a 55 flat.
That's Close just about a 10th better that last time around, so not quite sure what Sam changed here, but he's not letting him get away this time.
No, he's not, and this is actually the first time all day long Cameron has seen somebody in his rearview mirror that is less than a second on a green flag run.
Going back to a battle back there, the camera just caught it between Levi Zielinski and Peter Short there. Two guys that I believe had pretty fast cars here tonight, but unfortunately I think the damage is kind of compounding itself, and with Levi, I think it's just a few small mistakes in each corner. It's kind of costing here at this point. Yeah, you can see he really missed 3, yeah.
Wow. He's having a hard time with turn 3 right now, Zielinski. That car is not the same what it was earlier in the race.
No, it is not. It was unfortunate because he was running, top 5, 3rd place earlier in the race, and I have to believe that big hit off turn 1 is kind of what started it, and just hasn't been the same since, as you mentioned.
4th place battling up again between Hickey and Ross.
Oh, someone is spinning. That's a 56 of Tate Lytle. I think he slammed the wall. Either that or maybe, I was going to say, yeah, maybe he pulled a Dale Jr. there and downshifted too early.
Oh. Well, this is news. This is the big breaking news.
Oh, yeah,
of
he
today.
definitely, yeah, I don't think he meant to down. Maybe he just, sometimes you get in a rhythm and just, maybe, Tanner, sometimes you just get into a rhythm with shifting here, and maybe he just kind of.
I don't know, but my kicker is, from my experience, I'd never downshifted down into turn 2, though. Yeah,
maybe
he downshifted in the back end, just came right around, and the RPMs just went skyrocketing, which just exploded the engine.
Maybe, happened to me a few times. Maybe, you're just kind of in a rhythm, just kind of going along. Sometimes just kind of forget what corner you're in.
I hate to tell you, I hate to say this, but usually when I was racing a couple weeks ago in the official races, like Salmasso was explaining, but when I was racing here in Pocono, I was always paying attention to my RPMs of where they were at in the corner, and then I can downshift and then create the speed. I'm always paying attention to those RPMs, but I question downshifting down in turn number 2, but
I don't think we've seen it here tonight.
No, this is the first time. Yeah, good idea. Let's try to bring up Tate Lytle. Let's see if he's in TeamSpeak here. Tate Lytle, let's bring him up here. He's in Johnny Thomas Racing. Tate Lytle, 3YTV, do you have a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man, what happened out there down in turn 2? Because it looked like, correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like you attempted the downshift into turn 2, and the car just broke loose after doing that, and it exploded the engine. What happened?
Yeah, when I went to go click down into 3rd, it clicked all the way down into 2nd, and that was the 3rd time that I had done it, and I think it just finally had enough.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. All right, well, we were just curious of what happened, but hey, you were having a tremendous race out there, overall there tonight. How was the race before all that happened for you?
It was going good. I think I was probably 3rd place. Looks like Sam and Cameron were in a league of their own, and I think I had a pretty solid 3rd place car, but wasn't meant to be.
All right, well, that's very unfortunate there tonight, but best of luck in the next race that you will be racing, and best of luck if you're driving for Johnny Thomas Racing.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, you guys have a good night.
All right, that's Tate Lytle, folks. Driving for Johnny Thomas Racing, exploded his engine of downshifting, and I think he said 2nd gear on accident.
Yeah, I'm sure, he was probably in 3rd, trying to go to 4th, and just kind of mentioned earlier, but pulled a Dale Jr. going from 2nd instead of 4th.
3rd place, now battling up, and that is Salmasso getting around Hickey. Now Salmasso, while all the activity we were talking to Lytle, Salmasso has passed Ross and now Hickey. I do believe Salmasso did pass Johnny Thomas not too long ago as well, so.
And unfortunately, I think unless we get a caution, it's probably as far up as he's going to get. Currently 6.5 seconds behind Sam Close. So I'm not quite sure if he can, reel in that gap, but he got about only 7 laps to do it. So, I was going to say Peter Short real loose out of turn 1 once again.
You could try to pit early, but that's timing the whole pitting early strategy right on the dot if you're going to try to catch either Sam or Cameron. but you got to time it just right. You don't want to pit too early because then you're going to cost a lot of time on the racetrack in a long run. And we will see at least another pit stop, but it's been a while since we last visited pit road, about 22 laps, including the caution flags. Yeah, we're going to see at least two more stops.
We're seeing our first pit stop here, Tanner, with the 33 to Jordan Teal.
All right.
I was going to say, I thought we were getting close to that limit, and I thought that maybe either someone was spinning off turn 3 or heading down pit road, but...
All the activity going on, I totally lost track on, when pit road was going to open up.
I was going to say, I was looking at our number when we last went green. It was lap 32, and I thought we were getting fairly close here.
All right, so pit road has opened up. Jordan Teal was the first one to blink down pit road, so we'll see if we get any other takers.
Not the leaders this time.
Paul Ross, maybe? Nope. Nope, nobody's coming down pit road just yet. Just scrolling through the field myself here. All right, wait, do I got a track map? Oh, it's a crappy one. Whatever.
I'm gonna get that man a better track map.
Yeah, these slide timing and scoring need to get track maps on here. Better track maps.
Well, it looks like we're going to see green flag pit stops here. I think we should mention, just how difficult this...
Oh, Levi Zielinski? Alright, let's pull up on a replay.
Really loose here. Wow.
Oh, on entrance. Yeah, he dove it in there then if that's on entrance. Man, that's the same spot as Tate Lytle. I cannot believe they are downshifting into turn 2.
Yeah, from the practice I ran here, it didn't really seem to, help at all. And obviously, it's kind of hurting some people. But from the people I had listened to in practice, I didn't think we were going to be downshifting.
David Wilson, the pit road. He was actually either 10th or just outside. Actually, Wilson was just outside the top 10 when he pitted. All right. Short. Oh, we got a battle. Peter Short and Johnny Thomas for 6th.
That's the replay into one there with Peter Short getting the run in there.
Oh, man.
Our producer is just kind of having a moment in the booth or in the truck there. So.
Oh, stand close to pit.
Oh, and Luis Almaso, Johnny Thomas, Chuck Sweeting.
Paul Ross. Yep. Uh-oh. Now, this is the call. If I was Cameron, get to the pit road right now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to lose any more time to these cats that just pitted. Because you, like Sam Close, you can stay on the lead lap after a pit stop.
Not sure happened to Mike Stevens back there, but...
Oh, pit road's busy.
Yeah, loose. Whoa. Yeah. Saw the replay there. Yeah, trying to just hit the brakes. And that was something I was trying to mention before, Tanner. It's, this pit road can be, we kind of say it every week, but this pit road can be really difficult to get into during green flag conditions because you're going, heavy on the gas and you're trying to slam the brakes as the leader comes down now.
55 miles an hour is going to be the speed. Leader Cameron Rich on pit road. Dylan Hickey now hits the pits.
There's a possibility that Chuck Sweeting could get a penalty. Saw the tire just a little bit high. Have to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, though, that pit exit line is very sensitive. I don't know if they fixed it in the patch that was released earlier this week.
And you see there, I think that may be a penalty. I believe that's full 2 tires over the line. Now, I think I heard from someone that they got a little less sensitive with it. I'm not sure, but we'll have to see here. Obviously,
Sam Close penalty.
Oh, that was your second place driver there.
Chuck Sweeting, did he get a black flag? He's still out there on the track. Sometimes we'll see, but I'm gonna review Sam's pit road here. Okay, so yes, Sam Close got popped for speeding on entrance of pit road. He was 78 miles an hour at the line, and pit road speed limit is 55.
5. Yeah, that's a good bit over. But we mentioned it. You know, when you're hard out of the gas in turn 3, it can be so hard to get down to speed there at 55 miles an hour.
Now, Chuck Sweeting, you said, had two tires over that line?
And I didn't think it was, you know, kind of really don't know at this point. At least I don't. I have to, you know, get more accustomed with this line. But it looked like 2 tires were pretty well over that line.
Well, if I read the patch notes, like, they did adjust the striking zone as far as getting the black flag itself. So I'm not sure if Pocono was one of those tracks that got the effect of that. But nonetheless, this concludes green flag pit stops here, folks. So Cameron Rich still out front. He has now an 11-second lead over second place Paul Ross. And Paul Ross now has about a second lead over third place Luis Salmaso. Chuck Sweeting is in fourth. Fifth place, Dylan Hickey. And by the way, we do got a battle brewing up between Hickey and Salmaso. That was close enough.
Oh, we got a... Wow, we got 3 wide back there at a turn 2. That shouldn't have worked. But Johnny Thomas with Peter Short, and I believe that was David Wilson who got stuck in the middle there.
Oofa. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was I don't. Yeah, well, they made it work.
Yeah.
All right, an update on Sam Close. Coming out of pit road, he was 14th. He has now passed a few cars to make up for those positions. He's now back in 10th. Otherwise, the top 10 drivers that came in relatively stayed in the top 10.
And I'd have to believe, yeah, you mentioned, I believe that's going to be their final pit stop, so.
I'm gonna, all right, who was the longest? Who pitted earlier? Jordan Teal. Jordan Teal's 8th. So 6 laps ago, we just hit the 20 lap mark. Jordan Teal might be on the verge of not making it. If I said 22 to 24 laps, we're on the verge of possibly not making it. I mean, it spent 3 laps for Cameron Rich. He pitted about 21 laps ago, or a couple laps ago. So that would have been marked right on the door. I think Cameron can make it. I think Paul is right on the verge, depending upon, I don't know. I think it's a fuel mileage race.
Yeah, at this point,
Corey Lindsay might have lost an engine. I'm getting a report on.
Yeah, that car looks pretty well beat up, I'd have to imagine. Either that, or maybe he just said, I'm done for the night.
That's very unfortunate for Corey there. Cameron Rich going around lap traffic. Did Dylan Hickey pass Sweeting? No, he didn't. Yeah, he did. Hickey passed Chuck Sweeting about a couple laps ago. That was a battle that was brewing up before all that 3 wide commotion happened down in turn 2. 8th place battle, though, we got Sam Close. He's trying to come on back. Last time by at the start-finish line, he was 10th, so he's passed Teal. He's now passing Wilson. And Sam is not going to be denied after a pit road speeding penalty.
Yeah, just kind of making up all he can at this point. Obviously, you know, pretty far back, 19 seconds behind the leader here. Obviously, the only saving grace for Sam is going to be a caution at this point, but just trying to get all he can at this point. Unfortunately, he got nabbed for speeding.
Looks like a lot of these drivers got the bugs all written out on driving Pocono here tonight, because we haven't seen a caution quite a long time now.
Tanner, you jinxed Luis. Why are you going to jinx the race now?
I know, I got the producer yelling at me right now. Les is going after Jordan Teal right now. Jordan Teal on older tires, of course, by 6 laps. 3 laps, excuse me, between Velez and Teal. Wow, what a difference between tires, though.
Well, he should. Wow, I'm surprised Teal's actually. Nope, he's gonna. I am gonna say I'm surprised they're still side by side there, but now Vlish should take it.
Peter Short just passed Tommy, not Tommy, but Chuck Sweeting.
Tommy, huh?
I'm looking at Thomas's name, and I called him Tommy.
Oh, yes, we should, you know, of course, mention it last week, but these brand new graphics we have here tonight, can't thank enough Thomas Morris from OCR TV for the graphics package here and for the rest of the season. And once again, we've been seeing a lot of great camera angles here tonight. Of course, those are always provided by Track Cams for Gourmet. You can download the pack and learn more information at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams.
I got a question for you, Justin, and I kind of want you to think about this. Cameron Rich made a pit stop on lap 59, and it's an 80-lap race. Field window is anywhere from 21 or 22 to 24 laps, approximately. The way I'm calculating is that he should be able to make it to the end. Here's the reason why. He's got about a little over 14 seconds of a lead. He's got nobody around him. There's no pressure. I'd say he should be okay. The drivers that pitted, however, anywhere from 56 to 58 laps, might have to conserve some fuel.
Yeah,
especially if you're downshifting.
Yeah, and you know, kind of had a feeling that was going to be expected here tonight. You know, obviously the cautions kind of fell a different way than I would have thought, but at this point, I think you're just going to need that final yellow flag to, you know, kind of cement yourself. But if not, definitely I think a lot of these guys are going to have to save. You know, with Cameron pitting the latest there, and he's got nothing to lose at this point. If he has to save, he's got, you know, 15 seconds around him to save. So a lot of these other guys, I think, if you're worried about running out, I think you need to start saving now.
The closest battle I'm seeing on track for a battle is between Zielinski and Richard Hines for 11th. Zielinski has dropped like a pigeon in the last half of this race.
See that right side damage there. It's ever since it seemed like he hit that turn one wall, he, you know, really pounded it. I have to believe that may have done some.
Oh, Samasso in trouble. Yeah, something's happening to Luis here. What?
Oh, wow.
Oh boy.
There.
He got a little contact help from Dylan Hickey.
Yeah. And what a job saving. You can see the tire tracks on the grass there. Never stopped driving it though. Unfortunately, he lost a spot, or two spots, excuse me. The 91 and the 22 get by, but
well, that will hurt Salmasso. Dylan Hickey, that puts him to third right now. Peter Short takes advantage of that situation. He's back in the top 5. Man, but he's loose. Wow, what a comeback for Peter Short, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, had that early rear end damage, a good hit by, I believe it was his teammate, the 33 of Jordan Teal. And, you know, got that repaired, and, you know, it's kind of been an uphill battle ever since then. I'm sure the car's not handling as well as he'd like, but currently sitting 4th right now with 12 laps to go. He's kind of sitting pretty at the moment.
Looking at all the times here, everybody's kind of just fanned out right now.
See the onboard there, just as sideways he was. And I was going to say, you know, Luis Salmasso lost those 2 spots, but he's already reeled both of them back in here. He's got a strong car tonight. I believe he's probably going to get those 2 spots back. I'm not sure he can get to Paul Ross up there in second, but he's definitely got a fast car, and it's going to be side by side off turn 2 between the two.
Here comes Peter Short down towards the inside on Dylan Hickey as they enter turn number 3. Short is going for 3rd place. What a whale, what a drive for Peter Short all day long. Not once but twice went to the back of the pack. Oh, and he's loose again, but loose is fast because he still has a nose ahead of Hickey to the line. And at the line, Short did beat Hickey.
Look at this run that Luis is going to have. 3 wide into 1. Really utilized that draft down the front straightaway while both of them were held up. As long as he can hold it into 1, it's going to be close.
Oh.
Watch the 91 here. You're going to be side by side out of turn 2 with the 4 and the 22, but that 4 car, I'm telling you, man, possibly the strongest car out here tonight. We just haven't seen it battling for the lead yet.
I don't know. He hasn't been the same ever since that contact with Levi Zielinski earlier. Almost making door-to-door contact with Peter Short coming off of turn number 2, one of the hardest corners of this racetrack. Down into turn number 3, dives it in there. Wow.
Short got the grass.
Hickey wants to take advantage of this. He's not giving up without a fight.
The 22 a little loose. Oh, and he's hit the wall.
Fishtailing it. Wow. That back end of the race car almost knocked out Samasso. Now Short's going to come down for a block. Man, Dylan Hickey will not be denied.
Oh, the 22 is sideways again. I thought he was absolutely going to lose it into turn 1, but he's
still loose. Dylan Hickey. Oh, and
he's on the wall. Man, that went from bad to absolutely terrible for that 22 car.
It went from bad to worse to air.
Yeah.
And
the 91 is blowing the corner.
Turn 2. And now Peter Short's going to try to take advantage of this situation as it heads down into turn number 3.
Side by side once again in the 3. Short's going to have it, but watch that rear end off turn 3 here. He's able to collect it. Oh, the 91 tapped the wall just a little bit there.
91's trying to do some good aggressive race, and he may be a rookie, but he ain't going to be denied. He wants his finish. And if he does get a top 5 finish out of this, it will be a second top 5 of the season. But all this battling is now bringing Chuck Sweeting, Sam Close, and Johnny Thomas closer as Sam Close washes uphill just a little bit. Sam's got a hunt down Chuck Sweeting for 6th.
And they're side by side once again.
And there goes Hickey side by side with Short.
And I'll tell you what, that battling has also done. You can see just how much of a gap that 4 car has gapped these two. You'll see it coming off turn 2 here. That car out in front, and you know, Luis has still got speed in that car. I think he may have something for Paul Ross before this race is said and done with. We still got 8 laps to finish this.
this battling between Hickey and Short is not over with. That's for sure. Well, tell you what, there might be another battle brewing up. Sam Close actually just passed Chuck Sweeting here, folks. And Sam, he's been fast ever since after that pit road speeding penalty, just lost a lot of time. And I'll tell you what, if Short and Hickey continue to battle like this, Sam's going to get him.
I tell you, this is putting on a great show for us here up in the booth, but I don't really see a benefit to racing that hard here, especially with, 8 laps to go. You know the guys are closing in behind. You see that car that was just behind you getting really far ahead. Just kind of relax a little bit. Maybe, stay behind. Don't battle as hard as you are. Because, we still got a lot of time left before this race is over.
Got about 7 laps to go here in Pocono.
Around a 2.5 mile racetrack. That's a lot of time.
Cameron Rich got really loose, though. I just went up to the leaders. He was riding the apron a little bit, fishtailing a little bit. No harm, no foul. Paul Ross still remains in 2nd place. There's Sal Masso. I think Sal Masso is gaining on Ross.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's closed it down to 5/10 now. It's going to be the battle for 2nd before this race is over.
Oh, did Sam hit the wall? Did Sam Close hit the wall? Did he? He's good? Okay. I was going to say, he came pretty close to it.
Oh, yeah. All but hit the wall back there.
Uh-oh, we got a battle going on again. There goes Short trying to get by Hickey again. I told you this battle was not finished.
Yeah. It's like, I know you want the spot, though, but how hard are you going to try and fight for it if you're just going to be side by side this whole time?
Well, this is a great experience for Dylan Hickey. Look at that, door to door. Oh, and there's a lap car. That's just a lap car getting out of the way. Peter Short on the bottom, trying to keep the momentum. Oh, he hit the apron. That might screw up his momentum on corner exit. Dylan Hickey gets a nice run off of turn number 1, and he does. I did see the 22 tap the yellow line down there a little bit.
And the battle is on for 2nd. No, there is no battle. Luis just blew by Paul Ross there for 2nd. Paul not letting him get too far ahead, but Here's the replay. That was down the straightaway.
All mess up?
No, just Samelso, just, better run down the straightaway there, had the draft. Yeah.
Here's the thing about this is that these two drivers are teammates. So if they continue to battle just like that, that'll allow Hickey and Short to catch them. So maybe that's a good strategy to try to keep your drivers up there in the top 5. Hey man, you're faster than me. I can't get the race leader. Go forward, even though we're coming down to it. I mean, I don't think he's going to catch him, but
no, I don't think he's going to make up a 20-second gap in 5 laps. But
Short got around Hickey. And now Hickey might want to come back, though.
Just the battle that will not end, it appears. As Sam Close is really closed in on these two at this point.
Da-dun. Da-dun.
Yeah. Producer just putting out a joke there. Sam Close is really closing in.
Hey, I just know. Okay, here's another joke, and hopefully I don't get my head chewed off for this. I just wonder how close Sam is to get a win. Sorry, Sam. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
You probably just jinxed him too.
I probably did. If he doesn't get past Hickey or Short,
yeah,
then I totally jinxed him.
Yeah.
Have 4 laps remaining here in Pocono. Cameron Rich with a dominating command of the lead. I don't think he's lost the lead at all today.
No, he is not, actually. He's led all 76 laps.
Yeah, so he's picking up what he was doing back at Auto Club.
Yeah.
Damn Close has now caught these two drivers. Now it's just a matter of trying to get around them. Hickey, I know he wants to get around Peter Short to get somewhere in the top 5. And Dylan Hickey's going to do everything he can to try to play defense here, because that would be his second top 5 finish of the season, and he's been racing with the big boys.
Yeah, you mentioned it. What a race for Dylan Hickey, inside the top 5. Haven't gotten a whole lot of chances this season to talk about him, but we've been doing definitely a lot of talking about him these past 20 laps. I've been seeing Sam at 6 just behind them, moving up, a lane and a half these past couple laps, along with the rest of these guys, slowly moving up that line.
Yeah, the race leader has just come across the start-finish line and has now indicated that there's 2 laps to go in this race. The closest battle on track I am seeing is Short, Hickey, and Close. That is 4th, 5th, and 6th. Johnny Thomas is all by himself out there. Oh, Short. Oh, man. He's back fishtailing again. Now here comes Dylan Hickey after Peter Short. And here comes Sam.
I'm thinking, well, Sam's probably going to be smarter about this, but he's going to have the inside on Peter. Peter, yeah, he's just going to...
Oh, Peter Short, yeah, walking up the track.
Peter's just kind of going to blow that corner, but... he's been struggling with the handling for a while on this 22, and... Yeah.
Well, he's just trying to make the best of it, but, I mean, what a shame to lose a position like that. Oh, Sam a little loose on entrance.
Peter Short all the way on the apron there, but the white flag is just blown for this 17 car. I tell you what, this 17 has been 2/10 up on the field. It's qualifying and during the race. He has found something that the rest of these cars just did not have, and he's going to go home and not let anybody lead a lap here tonight. That's quite impressive. Yeah, back-to-back wins, but more importantly, he's going to lead every single lap here tonight.
Cameron Rich, dominating performance, dominating year off of turn number 2. He has led in every race the RaceKings Cup Series has put on this season. He has led every race. And he's going to come off of turn number 3, and he's going to capture his 4th win of the season, doing it in style, on a fishtail style. Cameron Rich does it again here at Pocono.
And speaking of fishtail, this battle we were watching back in the pack, that 22 fishtailing it into 1. Luis Salmaso into 3 there. Looks like he's going to pretty handily get 2nd. Paul Ross with 3rd. Haven't gotten to the line quite yet, but... And here comes Luis Salmaso to the line for 2nd. Paul Ross, boss man, 3rd. And Here comes the battle. Dylan Hickey going to get 4th place. Sam Close going to get that top 5.
That was not a bad Pocono race, despite the 2 cautions before the 10 lap to go mark. But we seen a long green flag run. That long green flag run took place from lap 36 all the way to the finish. Tremendous finish. That was a good race overall, but it was dominated by Cameron Rich. But don't go away, folks, because we're going to talk to the top 3 drivers, and I'm going to start pulling in some of the drivers right now. One of those drivers, let's talk to Paul Ross. He finished 3rd. Paul Ross, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. How's it going?
Paul, you were in the top 5 all race long, but it looks like you just didn't have the horsepower, the speed, or to really catch Cameron Rich there. Tell me about your race overall, though. It looked like you did struggle at some portions of the race, though.
I ended up getting damaged probably around lap 25, maybe 30. It was about 18 seconds worth, but it definitely affected the handling of the car. At that point, I was just trying to hold on for everything it was worth and get the best finish I could.
Yeah, you definitely did. How hard was it to drive the car here tonight? Because it just seemed like we had a mixed bag here tonight of drivers being loose and as well as being extremely tight. And with all the downshifting here that you have to do, we already seen one driver tonight that downshifted and actually blew the engine. In other words, pulled a Dale Jr. How was the handling of that race car for you tonight?
You had to put so much rear brake in it to get it to rotate in the center of the corner, even with downshifting. So entry was a little sketchy at times. And then it pushed pretty much from the middle of the turn all the way off. I don't know. I don't really understand this track. I've never ran good at this track, and I don't like this track. But it was just super, super tight and then real loose on entry with as much brake as we had to run.
All right, now we're done with Poconos, and you did mention you didn't really like the repaved Pocono, but now we're done with Pocono. We don't come back here till probably next year for the Cup Series. But let's kind of move forward here. Next week is the All-Star race on the Cup Series schedule, but we're not using the Cup cars. We're using super late models, and we're going to South Boston. How do you feel about your chances on possibly trying to win the All-Star race out there?
Short track and super late models, I think, is the equalizer. You could pick probably 10, I don't even know who's entered in it, and you could pick probably 10 different guys to win. It should be real fun. It's going to be pretty awesome with running the heats and last chance qualifiers and all that stuff to set the main field. So it should be real entertaining to watch under the lights.
It definitely should be. How do you feel about what's the next points race? It's going to be Charlotte in 2 weeks' time, 200 laps out there. How do you feel about the chances out there, since that is a mile and a half, and you're pretty good on the mile and a halves?
Kind of like all season, just hoping for a top 5. I have a feeling you'll see Peter up a little bit better than what he was tonight. He'll be contending for the win. Sam's usually really good at that track. You can see him up there, and I don't know what Cameron Rich has been eating, but I think he's won by almost 50 seconds between the last 2 races combined.
Yeah, actually, that is a true statement, believe it or not. All right, Paul, well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us here tonight. Congratulations on a top 3 finish here, and we will see you next week for the All-Star race down out in South Boston. Alrighty,
and thank you guys for broadcasting, and thank Corey Lindsay for putting these races on for us every week. Without him, none of this would be possible. And tune in next week for the Super Late Model All-Star race. We're representing the Wounded Warriors Project, and all proceeds that we may win from that race will get donated directly to them.
All right, folks, you heard it from Paul Ross, who finishes 3rd tonight for 3OG Racing. And now let's go to 2nd place. I believe Justin Kolb has caught up with Luis Salmaso, who finishes in 2nd.
Yes, sir. And Luis, you got a copy?
I do, bud.
All right, well, talked to you early in that race, and it was almost like we jinxed you. You fell back a little bit on that restart, but it seemed like ever since then you were just on it and showed once again how fast that race car was.
Yeah, when I go back to the team channel, I said, "All right, here goes my race." Just got the booth curse on me, but no, but it was like I told you guys, race the track, race your car, and not who you're racing against. And people just got way too aggressive on that first start and everything. So got a little bit of contact, got a little bit of damage on my nose, and I'm pretty sure the car was not as fast as it could have been. But it was still fast enough that we could just keep the game plan. Like, hit your marks, don't overdrive, don't kill your stuff, and hopefully people are going to come back to you. And that's what started to happen, one by one. Had to do some overtime work over there, passing the 91. Not so happy about that, but I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to do anything. Was just trying to dive it in, trying to get as close as he could. So, but it was fun. It was fun. That the battle with the 91, the 22, didn't know if that thing was going to happen like that, or if all three of us were going to go down in flames. But it was fun. It was fun. Good race. Yeah, let's keep scoring points and wait for the chase.
Yeah, you mentioned had to do it overtime, and I really like the way that you described you attacked this track, just race the track, and it seemed like definitely what you did. You mentioned a lot of people making mistakes around you. You even got around the boss man there for second place, and say we had like 10 more laps to go and a caution to group everybody back up. You mentioned that damage. Do you think you would have had anything for Cameron Rich? No.
I think he probably I would be able to keep up, but really attack only if he made a mistake. And we know Cam can sometimes be like robotic's not even the word. Like you look at lap times on the same scent, like for 100 laps in a row. So, but I'm happy. Not bad. Made the choice of starting all the way to the back because I didn't want to get involved in anything in the beginning of the race. Almost got my car in the middle of 3 or 4 wrecks, but I'm pretty pleased. Like if it would started a little bit up front, who knows? But can't complain. Really good race. Really good race in green, and yeah, let's bring another one.
Well, a great second place finish for you here tonight. Now we take a break from points racing. We take a break from the Cup cars, and we go to a small little track in South Boston, and we race the super late models. Looking forward to having some fun over there.
Well, that track is about 45 minutes from my house, so I can pretty much be there live if I wanted to. So who knows, maybe this week I'm going to go do some scouting, go look at some banking angles, the whole thing, talk to some local guys, see if I can get some local insight on how to go around that place very fast.
Absolutely. And before we let you go, just want to give you a chance to thank your sponsors, thank anybody you have to here.
Oh, thank you. I need to give a big shout out to everybody at 3OG. It's been a really awesome time racing with those guys every week. The exchange of knowledge, how are you doing, how are you being fast, what are you doing to improve, really I think is pushing the entire team closer and closer to the front. Give a pretty big shout out to everybody at WCR, Sim Engineering, the guys that run open setups that we work every week, who really taught me how to be consistent and race the car, not race everybody else, just control what you can control. Everybody at Jaws Graphics, everybody back home. And this was a pretty big race for me. Particularly, we found out last week that the new member of the family will be arriving in the next 8 months. So pretty good race to start the life of the new member of the family here. So this one goes to my wife and to our future, who knows, boy or girl. So thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch. Thank everybody from 3 Wide Racing, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the upcoming new member. Congratulations on the P2 finisher tonight. Luis Salmaso finishes second place.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Luis Salmaso, and I'm caught up down in Victory Lane with Cameron Ridge. And Cameron, first off, congratulations. And I must say, earlier this week on Twitter, I talked about that the 3 Wide Racing League needs to eventually open up the doors for the first ever Hall of Fame. And I think your name should be should be arced into the Hall of Fame in either the first one or the second one, because quite frankly, your stats in this league are tremendous, and you just racked them up today here at Pocono. Tell me about your drive out there as a race leader, and not really worrying about anything. Talk about the handling of the race car as well.
Well, thank you, Tanner. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a Not as bad as I thought. I thought that turn 2 was going to be more of an issue with me and everyone else. It seems like I think turn 1 was more of the issue. Yeah, just kind of made laps the whole race and tried to keep it out of a wall, and I wasn't really focused on anyone else, just trying to run my own race, and it worked out pretty well.
It definitely worked out very well for you there. And were you nervous at any point of the race? Because it looked like Sam Close was keeping pretty close tabs with you at one portion of the race there. Were you worried at all, or what was your feeling back then?
Yeah, Sam definitely had a lot of speed. I was definitely trying to get away from him, and he was keeping with me and better than me at some points. I don't know what happened to him. He lost a lot of ground on that pit stop or right before. But that was going to be a pretty good race, I think, if we were actually able to race it out to the end.
All right, we're going to wrap up Pocono here, and just so you know, you've never lost a race lead today, so you led like all 80 laps, which now brings your lap total on the season count of 556 laps led on the season. That's just phenomenal, and we're not even halfway done with the season yet. But let's talk about the next 2 races. One is a non-points event. You take a break from all the points, even though you're really not worried about them, but we take a break from the points, and then we actually go for a Dash for Cash race in 2 weeks' time. It's a Noble 4 event, I should say, at Charlotte. So South Boston next week. The following week is Charlotte. Talk about those 2 racetracks, and do you believe you can get the victory lane in both of those races?
Yeah, I'm more excited about South Boston and the super late models, honestly, because I love short tracks and I love that car. But Charlotte, yeah, I think we're running at daytime, if I heard correctly, so that should be pretty cool. We're going to be sliding around a lot more than we would at nighttime. But yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot. I don't even know if we have a setup for Charlotte with a new build, so that'll be pretty cool to see.
I have a question for you.
All right.
By the way.
Oh,
hey, Cam.
Okay.
So here,
what's up?
lead reporter for 3 White TV, Carlos Costa. Any reason as to why you backed your car up against the wall while you're doing donuts? And does this have anything to do with the allegations surrounding your team?
Yeah, absolutely,
right,
yes. Also because the driver's an idiot, doesn't know how to spin around and not wreck.
Man,
Well, at least you know how to go straight pretty well.
what driver? I'm trying to think what driver did that really packed up and somehow did something to avoid post-race inspection.
I know Biffle did it when you're at Dover. I was there, and we all couldn't believe that he did it.
All right, Cameron. Well, I have to say, you are becoming the Richard Petty of 3 Wide Racing League. Like, in other words, I'm calling you the king because your stats ever since you got into this league have been phenomenal. Congratulations on the win tonight here at Pocono, and hopefully we'll see it. Obviously, we probably will see you in victory lane again as fast as you are, my man.
Well, it means a lot, but I'm just a driver, and all the credit goes to Corey for putting up with us drivers, and you guys for putting on, honestly, really good broadcasts. So, hats off to everyone in here.
All right, folks, that's Cameron Rich finishing again here in victory lane at Pocono Raceway. And I'll tell you what a heck of a race we did see, especially the long green flag runs and all the great battling that we have seen. Let's go through the race results here. Cameron Rich wins tonight. Luis Salmaso, what a run for him. Started 24th, finishes 2nd. Great run for Luis. Paul Ross was in the top 5 all night, finishes in 3rd. Dylan Hickey, rookie, he started 17th, and he got himself his 2nd top 5 finish of the season. So congratulations for Dylan on getting another top 5. Hopefully he can keep it up. Sam Close, what a whale of a comeback after a pit road speeding penalty. He finishes 5th. Another comeback story, Peter Short, who went to the back of the pack twice in this race, and he finishes 6th after starting 6th. What a way. What a cool deal. Johnny Thomas finishes in 7th. Chuck Sweeting finishes in 8th. Nathan Velez finishes in 9th. Good run for Velez. And David Wilson gets a top 10 finish. Nice job, David. Levi Zielinski, I figured he'd be in the top 5 tonight, but he was in the top 5. He just fell back at the second half of the race. He finishes 11th. Richard Hines finishes in 12th. Mike Stevens, 13th. 14th, Kyle Hanshaw. And 15th, Jordan Teal. Matt Hackathorn finishes in 16th. Christopher Munger finishes 17th. James Duke finishes in 18th. Corey Lindsay in 19th. Tate Lytle rounding out the top 20. Blackjack position tonight goes to Nick Miller. 22nd, Chad Brown. Steve Ketman in 23rd. Richard Lafferty, 24th. Rusty Webb, 25th. And Wade Lear, 26th. And Drew Eisman officially did not start this race event. Don't know if he'll be credited for starting the event here tonight. But although all 26 cars have started the event, and a lot of the back of the pack guys I named off found some trouble in the early stages. Justin, final thoughts of Pocono Raceway here tonight. The first time the league itself was on this repaved Pocono on iRacing, and future thoughts for going forward as far as South Boston's concerned.
Yeah, well, new track. I had to work out a few bugs there in the beginning of the race, but once they got them worked out, boy, was the racing fantastic. And it's the same story every week. No one can really catch Cameron Rich, except this time he was kind of stingy with the laps led there today. Didn't lead anybody or let anybody lead one. But going on to South Boston as well. I know you'll be in the car. It'll be another fun event. It'll be my second All-Star race, I believe, in a row. Correct me if I'm wrong, but commentating. But it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I had that one marked that I wanted to do. I know I was offered to do the booth work, but after getting a couple permissions, I actually went around and asked permission to a couple guys, Carlos is being one of them, if I could run the All-Star race, and it was all approved and ready to go. And so far, nobody's tearing my head off yet, but I'm looking forward to run that race at South Boston. But nonetheless, before we let you go, we got quite a few people here to thank. First and foremost, the series sponsor, RaceKings. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Three Wide Racing League's Cup Series. Without you guys and as a sponsor, this would just be a normal Cup Series. But it's great to have RaceKings on as a sponsor, so thank you very much. Thank you to the team here tonight, Justin and Carlos. It's every week is phenomenal, and I do believe we got some camera angles to thank, so I'm going to hand that over to Justin.
Yes, sir. As always, the fantastic camera angles provided here tonight by TrackCams for Gourmet. You can find more information and download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. And once again, the brand new graphics package was debuted last week at Auto Club, shown again here tonight, and will be on the rest of the season. Can't thank Thomas Morris from OCR TV enough for that.
And we also would like to thank the organizers of the Three Wide Racing League, Corey Lindsay, who's the league president who owns Three Wide. Without Corey, ever since 2011, man, Three Wide Racing would never exist or what it is today. And also the drivers that participated, they put on a great, tremendous show each and every single week. Even if one car dominates, it's still a great show, as we did see here tonight. But join us next week, Monday, June 18, 2018. It is the Three Wide Racing League Race King Cup Series All-Star Race, but we're not taking the Gen 6 Cups there, though. We are taking the super late models there, and it's going to be one whale of a race. Maybe a wreck fest, maybe, I don't know. But although, go back in time with Three Wide Racing League, watch that battle between Cameron and I, you'll know what kind of racing I'm talking about for sure at South Boston. It's a track that can produce tremendous racing. Otherwise, the next points race is Monday, June 25th at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that'll be it. Well, I'm Tanner Sharp, Justin Kolb, Carlos Acosta. We'll see you fellas next week.